The surest way to corrupt a youth is to instruct him to hold in higher esteem those who think alike than those who think differently. Nietzsche. The obligation of subjects to the sovereign is understood to last as long, and no longer, than the power lasteth by which he is able to protect them. Hobbes. The life of man, solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. Hobbes. It is better to be impetuous than cautious, because fortune is a woman, and if you want to keep her under it is necessary to beat and ill-use her. Machiavelli. Force and fraud are in war the two cardinal virtues. Hobbes. Leisure is the mother of philosophy. Hobbes. The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him. Machiavelli. In the state of nature profit is the measure of right. Hobbes. The end justifies the means. Machiavelli. The will to power is not a being, it is a becoming, a process, a development. Nietzsche. The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. If you try it, you will be lonely often, and sometimes frightened. But no price is too high to pay for the privilege of owning yourself. Nietzsche. The value or worth of a man is, as of all other things, his price, that is to say, so much as would be given for the use of his power. Hobbes. The weakest has strength enough to kill the strongest, either by a secret machination or by confederacy with others that are in the same danger with himself. Hobbes. The end of law is not to abolish or restrain, but to preserve and enlarge freedom. Hobbes. You say it is the good cause that hallows even war? I say unto you, it is the good war that hallows every cause. Nietzsche. The man of knowledge must be able not only to love his enemies but also to hate his friends. Nietzsche. The higher we soar the smaller we appear to those who cannot fly. Nietzsche. There are no facts, only interpretations. Nietzsche. The promise given was a necessity of the past, the word broken is a necessity of the present. Machiavelli. A prince must be a lion, but he must also know how to play the fox. Machiavelli. Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see and few can feel. Everyone sees what you appear to be, few really know what you are. Machiavelli. Men are so simple and so much inclined to obey immediate needs that a deceiver will never lack victims for his deceptions. Machiavelli. The condition of man, is a condition of war of everyone against everyone. Hobbes. The power of a man, to take it universally, is his present means to obtain some future apparent good. Hobbes. He who fights with monsters should be careful lest he thereby become a monster. And if thou gaze long into an abyss, the abyss will also gaze into thee. Nietzsche. He who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command. Machiavelli. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Machiavelli. The true man wants two things, danger and play. For that reason he wants woman, as the most dangerous plaything. Nietzsche. To be free is to have achieved your life. Nietzsche. A wise ruler ought never to keep faith when by doing so it would be against his interests. Machiavelli. The will to power, as the modern age from Hobbes to Nietzsche understands it, far from being a characteristic of the strong, is, like envy and greed, among the vices of the weak, and possibly even their most dangerous one. Nietzsche. The secret thoughts of a man run over all things, holy, profane, clean, obscene, grave, and light, without shame or blame. Hobbes. Such truth, as opposeth no man's profit, nor pleasure, is to all men welcome. Hobbes. All things are subject to interpretation, Whichever interpretation prevails at a given time is a function of power and not truth. Nietzsche. The power of kings and magistrates is nothing else but what is only derivative, transferred and committed to them in trust from the people to the common good of them all. Hobbes. The state of nature has a law of nature to govern it, which obliges every one, and reason, which is that law, teaches all mankind who will but consult it, that being all equal and independent, no one ought to harm another in his life, health, liberty, or possessions. Hobbes. What is good? All that heightens the feeling of power in man, the will to power, power itself. Nietzsche. God is dead. Nietzsche. Without music, life would be a mistake. Nietzsche. It is not the strength, but the duration of great sentiments that make great men. Nietzsche. The herd seeketh most earnestly after nothing but the herd. Nietzsche. All things are subject to decay and change. Hobbes. War consists not in battle only, or the act of fighting, but in a tract of time, wherein the will to contend by battle is sufficiently known. Hobbes. It is necessary for a prince who wishes to maintain himself to learn how not to be good, and to use this knowledge and not use it, according to the necessity of the case. Machiavelli. All courses of action are risky, so prudence is not in avoiding danger, it's impossible, but calculating risk and acting decisively. Machiavelli. It is not titles that honor men, but men that honor titles. Machiavelli. Man is the cruelest animal. Nietzsche.